Which differences can we find if we consider the laws of biosphere and laws of ecosphere? Well, laws of ecosphere are laws of competition. Competition among different systems, different ecosystems. Laws of biospheres are evolutionary laws, of course, such as the ecosphere laws. But they are different because we don't have only laws of competition. We have different laws of complexity. So, complexity as far as biosphere is concerned, and competition as far as ecosphere is concerned. Let's have an example. Cities, urban life. Cities are ecosystems. Do they follow the laws of the ecosphere as they are ecosystems, or instead do they follow laws of biosphere as cities are made of human beings? We should say that they follow both biosphere and ecosphere laws, but it's not the most important point at stake, because we should understand how this merging of the two sets of law function and how biosphere laws interfere with ecosphere laws, how concurrence and competition effects influence laws of complexity. How can we reach a self-organization, that is a law within the domain of the complexity, by having elements and a strong influence of laws coming from other sets of law? Let's have an example. Let's consider, for instance, competition and self-organization. How the laws of competition can affect the laws of the auto-organization, how the laws of chaos can affect the laws of the catastrophes, and so on. How can these two sets of law merge and converge in order to ensure the evolutionary maintain? And so cities are complex ecosystems at the same time in which they are also urban human contexts. So they follow different laws in conflict, surely in contradiction among them, not each other but among them. We should consider the result of these interactions, and we should also include a third set of laws, the laws coming from what we can call the infosphere. Cities are dominated by these three sets of laws, of rules, of standards, of patterns. Those patterns coming from the ecosphere, that is competition. Those coming from the biosphere, that is to say complexity. Those laws coming from the infosphere, that is to say entropy, disorder, quantity of information that we can administrate, subministrate, and keep along the evolution scale time. And so we have 2-3 degrees of complexity. If we consider cities are at a third level of complexity. If we consider just one animal species in its own environment, in its own capacity, fitness, strong of adaptation and resilience in relation with environmental catastrophes, we can have 1 or 2 degrees of complexity. Cities are a complex ecosystem. I'd like to say that cities are maybe the most complex ecosystem on Earth, on our planet. And if we try to understand, and if we succeed in understanding what laws of the cities are, then we can make a great step forward, a great leap forward, in order to understand the complexity on the planet. Does this mean that we can find answers to the climate changes? Maybe some independent researcher thinks so. I'm referring myself to Mike Davis. He thinks, in different articles he wrote, this very imaginative concept. Well, he thinks that cities may be a sort of ark of survivance, ark where human and other animal species, just like an ark in the biblical sense, of course, they can save themselves. Cities made the problem, and cities can solve the problem. Cities put the urgency of the question, how can we face climate changes? And cities can provide an answer, and the answer is to change our style of life. The maximum of technology in urban cities, in human cities, can coexist with the maximum of respect, of environmental respect. So, maybe it is not the only answer. Maybe it is not a better answer. But it's not a better chance and a better answer. But we should admit that, of course, it is a better answer than another sort of ark that can travel us to other planets, to Mars, for instance. I believe that betting on cities could be much better than betting on Mars. Even if Mars has a strong imagination power, but cities are a complex domain, more complex than Mars, of course, more complex than Mars. And so this is the reason why scientists and researchers avoid to consider the importance of these complex ecosystems that cities embody.